Hello, 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 hello. I'm OT Speaks. If you're new here, please like, subscribe, share, or just OSpeaks. Much, much easier. I've learned. KMC, what's going on? How you doing, Miss Just J? Mel Dub, what's up, man? So today I'm gonna be doing a little bit of chopping here and reshaping of the head here. It's what you guys see, how it looks really big here. It's because the drawing is on an angle because I couldn't get the camera over my head to get a direct shot straight down. So you guys aren't seeing the image straight on. You're seeing it turn. So it looks kind of funky probably to you guys. But I'm also kind of trying to stay out of the way. So it is a little bit wider on this side than it should be. So I'll be chopping some of that off today and coming in a little bit more narrow here. And then hopefully getting to some details. My back is killing me. Hopefully I can sit here for 2 hours, but 2 hours is a long time. Normally it's not a problem, but I don't know what's going on. I have no idea what's going on with my back. So I'm going to get started right away and trim down some of this. Same tools, kneaded eraser is what I'm starting with. Regular eraser, X-Acto knife, several different types of stumps. These are only going to be used when I start detailing. This is for charcoal sharpening. Can't use a regular sharpener because charcoal is soft. If you use a regular sharpener, it'll just eat up the charcoal. And then I have several different numbers of charcoal. So the numbers are the lowest. The lower the number, the higher or the harder the actual charcoal is. The higher the number, the softer the charcoal is. Soft is better for spreading and shading. The hard ones are better for the lines that you make details because they don't come up as easily. Discovered using one of these bad boys actually really, really, really went well. I normally use a lambskin, but I just use a rag, one of those cleaning rags from Walmart that you get in the auto section, and it's phenomenal. It's like a microfiber, and it holds the charcoal really well. I used it so much. There's already a hole in it, but it doesn't matter because it's so big. I can just use the next one. So that's what we're going to be working on. And then, like I said, hopefully my back doesn't start acting up because it's already hurting as I sit here. So I am going to actually, you know what? You guys can see the reference for now. Again, it's what you're seeing is sideways. So don't judge. Don't judge. Not yet, at least. When I'm done, you can judge. Right now, please don't judge. Let me find the image. It's on the desktop. So this is the reference that I'm using. Come on. Come on. Why are you going so slow? There was an issue with your file. Oh, jeez. Here we go. Image. It's already messing with me, man. Already messing with me. It's a very small file. It should be no problem pulling up. All right. So back to this. How do I get this back to normal size? Nope, that's not it. Why is it in the middle there? There we go. All right, so let me get started on my erasing and narrowing this down because it's definitely too far out. I couldn't see it till I stepped back after I was done. Not done, but concluded for the day the other day on Tuesday. I'm doing this every Tuesday and Thursday, if you don't know. Why is it still saying that there's an issue? What are we doing here? What are we doing here? All right. So let me clear this again and bring this all in. And I'm only going to be bringing it in like 2 centimeters, but it has to be done or it won't be right. And if it ain't right, it'll drive me crazy. Last live, I talked about how OCD I am. It's really, really bad. I will tear this thing apart before I allow it to look off. I don't want it to be off. I said I was going to do this too. And the reason I'm doing this now is you do not want to erase details. So you got to get all this stuff done before you do any kind of detailing. If you don't, erasing details is really, really bad because it's really hard to go back in and redo them because you're using the harder charcoal pencil. So what I was saying earlier, the high number, the 6 is very soft, easier to erase. If I start doing details with a 2, much, much more difficult, and it will show through. This looks like it's showing through, but it's really not. I don't need to erase it completely. So I'm just using the kneaded eraser to reshape. This boy is trying to get on his iPad. Oh, he has time. 1 second. This kid. And he will keep requesting time if I don't give him his time on his iPad. So there's that. I'm going to reshape it here a little bit too. Just going to bring it in. As I was explaining in the last slide, I do generic shape. I guess I don't want to call it shape. I do generic outlining and stuff to avoid distracting my own eye. Let's see. So I don't need it perfect. I just need it to not bother my eye while I'm doing other things. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. So let me bring this all in now. 6. Pretty much everything I've done has been with a 6B and 4B. 0 2B work, except for a little bit that I did on to cement where the eyes are going to be. There's the 6. Man, come on now. All right. So I'm bringing all this back in. Back. So yeah, where I had it, you can see the line. I'm coming in, like I said, about a centimeter or 2 in, because it was a little bit too fat. He had my cheeks, but his cheeks weren't that fat. Come back down here. There we go. Well, yeah, you can't see that. You're not going to see the difference because it's kind of off. I was going to show you the difference, but because it's not centered, it's not really, you're not going to see what I'm looking at. And last time I turned it so you guys could see the straight on angle, but then the camera was hard to get back the next time I came up. So I don't want to do that again. You're just going to have to trust me that I got it better aligned this time. You're not, I don't even know if you can see what I'm doing right now anyway. Straight up. I might as well do this now. And go straight up. So I had it kind of like my head coming out like this. So I got a fat head, but his was not like mine. His goes more straight up than mine. And I started at least kind of getting it as it started looking a little bit more like me. Thank you, Phoenix. What's going on? Although it kind of looks a little bit more like me, so I guess it is coming along. It needs to come out here, not where I had it. And again, I'm using the softer one, so it's just not, it's sitting on the paper. It's not going into the texture, if that makes any sense. The 2 will go into the texture and be locked in. A little bit better. Okay. I don't know if you can see the line where it was. It was coming out like here. It needed to go straight up. I had it. And then his need to come up like this. That's his shape. And then here was similar. It should be straight up. I had it kind of going out on a weird angle. So part of that is that I'm kind of drawing on a slight angle also. But I shouldn't be, but it is what it is. So that's a little bit better. A little bit. I can come back in. Should do my shading. Down here, still the same. Kind of, sort of. I'm going to bring this all up a little bit. I'm coming all the way up here from where I was. That little angle changed a lot. Just that little centimeter changed a lot down here. And this needs to be coming in more. So this should be making a sharper turn like this. Yep. I can already see it. And then the neck should be here, not where I had it. And now I can erase all of this because this doesn't. All right, cool. Now I can bring all of this up. Maybe it will come up a little bit even more up here. We'll see. This here can stay because this side wasn't bad. It wasn't perfect, but it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad enough that I need to redo anything because the shading will protect a lot of this down here, and it'll what's the good word? It will give a better foundation when it's all dark, when it's really dark. And I can come up like this, and it doesn't really impact the look of the drawing. All right, so I brought it in, not too shabby. It's okay. It's okay. If you haven't been following this, the outsides are going to be blurred anyway. There's not going to be any real detail in the ears because that's what the reference calls for. I could probably do it off of another picture, but I like that. I have never done that effect before, and I really want to try it and see if I can create that blurred effect and make it look good because I've never done it before. Let's come down a little bit more. All right. Start back with this. I got to even all these shades back out. I was kind of explaining this before. Using this rag really helps with all of the undertones. It kind of looks like it's erasing the lines, and it is, but it's helping with all the undertones. So everything I just did, it's smoothing out what I did. So I don't know. I don't think you guys can see how. Yeah, that's the wrong side. You should be able to see it on this side. You'll see this fill in and close out. Oh, I'm trying to point at the screen. This right here, what I just erased, I can fill it in just by doing this, which is why I wasn't really worried about how hard I was pressing. Yeah, this thing is working beautifully. I'm really enjoying the rag. More. Yeah, this is just, like I said, this is just softer. 6B is softer, so it allows me to smear. If I did this with the 2B, I would not be able to smear, and you would see these lines pretty even after I was trying to shade. but because I'm using a 6B, I can get rid of those lines and just smear them. And at the same time, I'm getting rid of the double lines that I had from the erasing. Man, my back is killing me already, man. I don't know if I can do 2 hours today. We'll try. I don't know if what I was saying earlier about how it's kind of protected because it's all going to be dark anyway. I literally just brought his chin up about a centimeter just from smearing it. And I can get rid of all of that. But when I fill this in, it'll definitely get rid of that even more. Go back up here. So we could start up here again since I pulled all this in. I keep forgetting to go buy some vine charcoal because that makes all of this so much easier. I have a separate page already. It said I needed approval to go live through StreamYard, not through YouTube. So I'm just waiting for the request to be approved. And then after that, I'm just going to put on this page, I'm just going to say I'm going live on the other channel. I don't know about tutorials, though. I don't know about tutorials. But Happy New Year to you guys. If I haven't talked to any of you or seen any of you around, spend time with your loved ones, even if you're fighting. You know, I'll cut this down. I'll cut this down with my X-Acto knife so I can get more. My son is crazy. I can hear him out there yelling. And he's going to do that until we make him go to sleep. But he's got another half hour. He's probably online with his cousins on Roblox or something. All right. That's good. I may as well. Oh, this filter. Me as well. Going camping again next week. I don't know. Actually, I may be able to still go live. I was gonna say I don't know if I'm gonna do Thursday, but it shouldn't impact Thursday. We're going out to set up Thursday and then not spending the night, going back Friday, so it's already set up. Doing some MLK Day camping. Yes, we camp a lot. We just got back. Yes, we did. We're going back out. Got the new tent. Tent is huge. That'll be the second. Well, we only used it for part of the last trip, so it'll be the second time kind of, sort of. 1.5 times, 1.5 time we used it. I should have did this. So there's different ways you can go about shading. I should have started out and just made the whole page one tone. I don't know why I didn't do that. Usually with charcoal, I do that. I think I just forgot. It's been a while since I get into charcoal. But usually I'll start out, but that also goes with vine charcoal. I'll start out and just smear and get everything around this tone and then start the drawing. I don't know why I didn't do that this time. I have to do it eventually anyway, and it doesn't really impact anything. So I probably should have started that. Just so I don't spend too much time doing it now. I can start it out this way. Since you guys can't see that. Next time I'll start. The next drawing I'm doing is already kind of started. So I'll be starting it from like day 3. And it's pencil, so I won't have to do this. But the next charcoal drawing I do, I'm going to start out with the shading. I don't know why I did this. It's weird. I've never done that before. Well, I have a long time ago. But next time I'll be more prepared. I will have found my lambskin. And I will just start out smearing it. And then the blue, you watch the replay. I do use tissue in the very beginning. I do. Because it's not impacting anything. I just don't like using it during a drawing, the mid drawing. Actually, it's not that I don't like it, I hate it. What up, Andre? Andre Dub. Oh. Appreciate you, man. This is what I was talking about with Lou. When I was talking about fingerprints, the good thing is it doesn't matter because it's on the outside of the drawing. You never want a fingerprint in the middle of your drawing. It's horrible because you can't get it out. It's oiled in. It gets into the texture. There's no getting rid of it. You can only go over it. So if it's anywhere in the drawing that's not dark, your drawing is completely screwed. There's one right there. You can see it. You guys can't see it like I can. It's bold. And that's just for me holding this because it's not very stable. And it's not very stable because I can't keep it clipped up here when I'm doing on the top. And the bottom is all the way up here compared to the drawing, that's only at his chin. The paper comes all the way down. So I have to keep adjusting the paper up and down depending on what I'm doing. And yeah, I got fingerprints. And if you use tissue, you're very, 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 very likely, especially if you're doing something big. So smaller stuff, you can get away with it. If you're doing tissue, it's very likely you're going to get a fingerprint somewhere in the drawing. And that's, for me, I will start a whole thing over. I don't care how much I like it if I get a fingerprint in the middle of the face or anywhere in the actual body of the drawing. Can't do it. It's too hard to fix. Actually, you can't fix it. You have to cover up. You're essentially doing like a cover-up tattoo on a drawing. Hate it, hate it, hate it, hate it, hate it, hate it. All right, so now I can go back in. Yeah, no. I just want to get this as smooth as possible. I don't want to keep, I don't want any lines. And by doing this, I was explaining this the other day on Tuesday. This gets the charcoal into the texture. Because this paper is not like normal paper. It's not like notebook paper with the little lines or anything. There's, it's a grain. It's a texture, so there's dips all throughout charcoal paper. Most drawing paper. Pastel paper, I guess that's mostly the same as charcoal. But even canvas, the reason why there's dips is it has to hold the medium on the paper that you're using or the canvas that you're using. Because if it's smooth like notebook paper that you guys write on, it's not gonna hold, and it's very difficult to manage after the fact. Like after a charcoal drawing, a painting, you fix it. It's called fixing. You spray it. There's a fixture if you ever go to Arts or Michaels or wherever. There's spray for charcoal. There's spray for paintings. There's spray for pastels. There's spray for graphite, and that locks. It kind of wets the image. You can even use hairspray. Well, don't just do that, but you have to know what you're doing. And that locks the drawing onto the canvas or paper or whatever you're using. Because it's textured, it can easily come off. And you can see this finger. This finger's clean. I could still get charcoal on my finger just from touching it. So if you're trying to store it or do anything with it, even if you mat it and frame it, that charcoal is always going to come off if you don't fix it. Same thing, like I said, with pencil, graphite, pastel, painting, all of it. It's very wise to fix any artwork that you do, if you can, if you know how. Otherwise, the older it gets, it'll start fading, and you'll see half of your image on the back of the other piece of paper that you cover trying to protect it. I can use that. Start using a 2. I'll use 4 for now. So this is a harder pencil, so this one I have to be a little bit more careful with because it'll be harder to erase. But I want to because I'm starting to lock this in now. This is the actual drawing. This isn't just shading anymore. I'm about to start drawing, everybody. I'm almost done shading. This is where the actual drawing starts. Now I gotta start being more careful with what I'm doing. Yeah. All right, no more red. Well, at least not for that part. Using these types of sounds. It's very therapeutic, man. That's why I started it. That's why I started. Well, not started. Period. But that's why I started doing it recently. Man, my blade just came off. But that's why I started doing it just for this because it's just, yeah, absolutely. The connection is needed. So I moved to this because I can get better lines with the stump than I can with any anything else really. I'm gonna start using the smaller ones. I'm getting closer to the eyes and all that. So now this is everything I've done up to this point is shading. Even though you can see that it's a drawing, it's all shading and it's all just different gradients of the charcoal. Now I'm actually going to be, this is the first time I'm actually drawing on this, on what you're seeing. This is the first actual drawing now. I'm actually capturing what I want to keep. I'm not getting rid of any of this now. Now I'm still using the 6 so I can get the right shades, but this is all going to be locked in. This is where it starts being actual detail put into the drawing. It's no longer just trying to get the overall contrast on a big piece of paper. This is what I consider drawing. The other stuff is all prep. It's all preparing me to do this. And you gotta erase. I'm actually focusing on what I want to keep on this page. I don't know if you guys can tell how much darker it is when I'm using this, because this is creating real line, not lines, but real finality to what I'm doing. It's more not detailed. It's just finer. I can still do the shading that I do with the big one, but this is more for details than the big one. And then the smaller ones, these ones are even smaller. These ones I use for like when you start putting in moles, hair, whiskers, eyebrows, all that. That's what I'll use these for. Those, and I'll use direct pencil. This one is still a little bit of shading, but it's just for thinner line, because this one here is for broad areas. It'll take me forever to shade the whole thing with this little thing, so that's what this is for. And before I was getting a general area of where I wanted stuff, now I'm going to be putting in where I want it to be actually. Like even this was off, but it's okay because now I'm fixing it. And what this also does is it puts, this is, it's going to put the charcoal in between all of the texture. That's why I say when it's more final, I was telling Lou this, you'll see how much more final it is once I'm getting it in there. And I'm gonna start using the white charcoal also. That'll be a little bit later, but you guys can't see how much more into the texture this is going, but you'll start seeing it as I do more detail. It's gonna start looking more realistic, I guess is what I'm saying. Man, my back is killing. I hope it's better by the time we go camping, because that tent, that's got to be like 150, 200 pounds just carrying that thing. The good thing is it's inflatable, so I won't have to do as much work. I just looked at because this side's darker. I'm using it to smear. You can actually lift it up with the other side without erasing. Um, I don't know if you can see that. I just made all that lighter by picking it up with the other side of the stump. I don't know if you can tell, but I thought I'd explain it anyway. Now, I told Lou I was almost at the detailing stage. This is what he wanted to see me do. He's gonna see just how OCD I really am now. There's no real white in his eye. The tear duct spots pretty early. You can even hear it kind of squeaking. It's because it's a harder charcoal. The other one kind of just smushes into the page. And I'm dabbing because dabbing picks up the charcoal. Smearing obviously gets rid of the charcoal. I don't need to get rid of all of it. I just need to lighten it up because it almost looked black. The reason why I made it look black is so it didn't distract me um, while I was doing everything else. Very well for me. I was gonna say it's very easy to get distracted. It's very easy for me to get distracted. So I have to kind of cheat and trick my eyes into not being drawn to mistakes. So I kind of fake it and just fill it in. So I'm only looking at contrast. The other day I was saying how I squint my eyes, I blur my eyes. That's so I only see contrast while I'm doing the drawing, and I don't get distracted by details because it's very easy for me to get distracted by details, and I'm not that shouldn't be my focus. At those times, that shouldn't be my focus. I was just trying to get all the shading done. Now I can get more particular and start honing in on stuff. I don't need the big one. Now I care more about the details. I care way more about the details now than I did this whole time. If you've seen any of the other lives, you've heard me say, I don't really care about that right now. Now I really care about all of it. Because now I'm putting in what I think makes it look like I want it to look. Let's do it. There's no real white there. So when I look at the reference, I look for the brightest spots on there, and then everything else is compared to that. So I keep saying there's no white there because there are lighter areas on the drawing. One's going to be right here, one's going to be right here, and then on his lips are going to be whiter than the eyes. So I don't want to have these eyes bright white just because eyes are white. I want them white in comparison to the brightest contrast on the drawing. So this is not supposed to be as bright as what's going to be here. So when I get in here and start erasing, this will be the brightest spot on the drawing, pretty much that, and then right here. So everything else has to be lighter than these two spots. That's why when I was smearing everything, I was making sure I got the right tones, so I don't have to worry about correcting any of that. I know for a fact this bottom lip will be the brightest thing on this drawing, and this spot will be about the second, if not the same as that. Everything else has to be darker than these two. If they're not, it's wrong. And it won't show the shape the same way either. So when you're dealing with contrast, you really got to pay attention to how much darker is this than this. And then you got to do the same thing with the other eye. You got to do the same thing with the entire picture, and that's how you get better details. It's not going to be perfect, but it will definitely be better. I don't need to do that right now. Focus on this one. Here's actually the same darkness. I'm also pressing a lot harder, even with the big stump, because again, I'm trying to make it. This is more final. These are more final markings that I'm doing now. Before I was kind of just smearing the charcoal. Now I'm pressing it in. I'm making sure. It also makes it harder to erase, which is why I was saying you never want to erase after you start detailing, because it's going to be deeper, more ingrained into the actual drawing. Man. That's a lot. I was looking for the stuff that was already in my hand. Small one. I can fill this in now. Start doing this eyebrow. So as I push this into the I almost said canvas, into the texture, it'll also make it easier for me to do the hair, the eyebrow. And you'll actually see what I'm doing with the eyebrow versus it just being a blotch or a blob. But again, I was tricking my eyes so I didn't have to notice that there was no eyebrow here this whole time. I just wanted the shape of it. So now that I'm blending it in, I can start doing actual hairs. And I'm not going to do them exact yet because I know I'm going to have to come back and the hair is going to be the last things I do. But I want to be able to see them as I draw so that it doesn't bother my eye. And just having these is going to help me shade. So I know what not to touch. It just gives me better perspective on what's going to be where. down a little bit. And then later, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in with white charcoal, and then I can add in specific grays, but that's later. It won't be this dark. I wish you guys could see it a little bit closer. I am doing something. It might not look like I'm doing anything, but I am doing something. It's changing. I can see it very clearly. I don't know how. I don't think you guys can see it very clearly. I'm looking at the screen and it doesn't look like I'm covering much, but it really is progressing. Two. doing? I don't think anymore. Use this to go across. Oh. That's fine. Same thing. Just need to differentiate where the mustache is versus the shading. It's starting to mess with me. And by mess with me, I just mean it doesn't look right because what's supposed to be here is not here. So I need to do that. It definitely isn't this dark, but it'll stop my eye from being drawn down here. Because my eyes know, my brain knows there's supposed to be a mustache, and I've been avoiding putting it in because it really needs to be detailed. It can't be halfway done like I'm doing right now, but I really don't have a choice now because I'm down here. So same thing with the eyebrow. I need the shape to be there, otherwise, no matter what I'm doing, my eye will draw right back down to here. And even with this, I can lift, or I'm going to lift all of this up. You'll see right now. But I'll have the overall shape better, so it won't draw my eyes up here. I'm gonna lift all this up with this eraser, but the shape is better. It's more defined, so I can see that it's partially done. Starting to look like Mike Tyson. Oh. And my back is oops. Drop. Man, drop my small stump. Just took my back out. That's how I know I'm getting old. Welcome back. Man, my back. All right. I'm sorry, but my back is killing me. Oh, no. I've been drawing for a long time, Miss Just Day. That's all I'm doing today. The next one on this channel is going to be my wife. And then I don't know after that. I don't know. My back is hurting too much. I need to get off here. I need to get off this chair that I'm sitting in. I need a new chair too. I think I need a new chair. Ooh, burning. No, you don't. So draw you. All the thumbnails are drawings that I did. So if you look at all the other, so there's 6 of them, 6 of these lives that I did. All the thumbnails are drawings that I did. Oh man! All right, I apologize. My back can't take it anymore. I'm actually pleased, which is very rare, with what I've done so far. A couple of little things that bother me, but not enough to sweat, which is good. Oh man! But I do appreciate you guys listening to me in pain and paying attention to what I'm doing here. I genuinely appreciate you all. My mods, especially Miss Just J, Miss Phoenix, Mel Dub, as always, of course. Who else? Andre W, as always. Amber C, thank you so much. Thank you very much. Who else was in here? I think there was somebody else in here. That might be. Oh, KMC. Thank you so much also for stopping in. I definitely appreciate you. I'll just keep going with this. Tuesday for sure. Hopefully Thursday. If I don't blow my back out completely with that tent, I'll be going live. With that said, hopefully I'll be going live on this channel. So if you have not subbed up, sub up to this channel, because this is where the goal is to go live from this channel here. I just dropped the link, not the one that I'm on right now, because this one is the one where I just talk politics. I don't want to screw up the algorithm completely. So that link is to my art channel supposedly I'll be able to go live from that channel after I get approval. StreamYard said I need approval. I don't know why, because I can go live on vertical on YouTube, but I guess StreamYard requires some kind of approval. I don't know. I don't recall having to do that with any of the other channels. Because I have Rumble on StreamYard, I have Twitch, I have Twitter, and it did not ask me for the approval, but maybe it's a different system or something. I have no idea. But again, thank you guys so much. Again, join or sub up to that other channel. Even when I do start going live over there, I'm going to also post over here on the community wall and just say that I'm live on that channel, just so if people don't see me go live, because they won't get an alert because they're not subbed up, that will hopefully prompt them to go over. I appreciate you all again. That is all I have for you today. I am gone. Thank you.